All right.
Eli, cook up.
Hey,
Y'all already know what
Hey.
it is. Y'all already know what it is.
baby, you came in too early.
Oh, I did.
It was good, everybody. It's your boy Tay. I got my wife, my rib, my queen, my BM.
What's up, guys?
If y'all watched the last pod, you already know what time it is.
Yes.
She
There
rocking
is.
Motherhood is Influence.
It is. My man made it for me.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Yes,
like
sir. Motherhood is Influence. You dig?
It is.
But welcome to the Influence Podcast, where we focus on growing our relationship with God, our relationship with self, and our relationship with people. A constant reminder, as always, you don't need a million followers to be an influence.
Yes.
Don't fall for the deception,
Don't do it.
the lies, the foolery. Big shout out to everyone who is watching on YouTube. We got 930 subscribers.
Hey.
We
So
appreciate
close.
you.
30 more people. I mean.
30, 70.
Oh my gosh.
We still on the road to 1K.
My bad, y'all.
On the road to 1K. If
70
you're listening,
people.
if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, we appreciate you as well. Definitely leave us a review, 5 stars preferably. And we just appreciate the support and y'all helping us grow this thing. And we pray and we're hoping that y'all are getting some good advice, good insight, and just good topics and conversations that y'all are hearing that'll, help you with your day-to-day life and your situations that you got going on.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, turn your bell notifications on so you will know the next time we post. You dig? What happened, babe?
Oh, no, I was just going to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Hey.
Yes, y'all are the MVPs.
Hey.
So
Indeed.
thank you for all y'all do and for raising up these wonderful people in this world.
Indeed.
Yeah, so
Yes.
shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all. Indeed. Today we got a big not a big thing, but we gonna get real with y'all, man. We gonna get real with y'all.
Yeah, we have some explaining to do.
We got some explaining to do.
These are my confessions.
So a while back, I want to say what was it, late? What was it, late January?
Of the year, yeah.
Yeah, it was late January. We went on a break. We stopped podding for I think a month.
Yeah.
About a month or so. So we gonna get into today, man. Our relationship, our marriage was
on course for divorce.
On course for divorce, yo. It was it was spooky.
It was getting
It was
wicked.
it was bad.
Yeah.
First 5 months.
And they always say the first year really is gonna try you. So I think
yeah, we was
at the turning point.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even blame the devil for this one, yeah. This was just, I think it was more us.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, I don't know if we thought I don't know. I think we had good intentions. I don't think we were aiming for this to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I just think early on in marriage, it's just an adjustment period where it's you gotta learn to.
You have a hair on your lip.
Wow.
Oh no, it's stuck. Okay. Did I get it?
Did you
I
get
got
it? Am I good?
Yeah. What is this?
What is going on? Oh Lord.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
You're good.
How embarrassing.
Sorry, y'all.
Thank you, baby.
Y'all are not a real couple if y'all don't pick things off of each other's face. Just, I'm kidding.
Anyway.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, so I think that first 5 months of our marriage was very, very rocky, very bumpy. I ain't even gonna lie. Even from the start.
Yeah.
Right on the freaking honeymoon.
Yeah, we had a rough honeymoon. We got in an argument at a honeymoon.
That one I feel was the devil was playing.
Yeah.
That one, I think the devil was trying to go crazy.
Yeah, and we didn't like the location we picked. It was just a lot of factors into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But what led us to the break, babe? Go ahead, you tell it. You tell it, babe.
Okay.
What was going on?
Basically, okay, so I was into like, I think potting was like, he was already doing YouTube, so he was already doing his videos and stuff like that. And so and I saw the passion that he had for YouTube and like, can I say that?
Content creation and
I
all
shouldn't
of
have
that.
said maybe the YouTube.
No, because at the time,
No, I'm saying like, I guess it's okay.
yeah, because at the
Okay.
time, yeah, I wasn't even potting
Yeah,
until we got married and stuff.
that's true. So yeah, he was into that and I could see the passion and stuff. And then I started like listening to more pods and like getting inspired by like other people that I was listening to. And I was like, ooh, it'd be so fun for us to like pod and stuff like that. And we weren't living together before we got married. So when we got married and we moved in together, like the idea was like, ooh, let's like do like, let's
Yeah, I
start
had
a
to
pod.
straight in. I had to jump right in.
Yeah, so like literally our first, because we took off a couple of days of work, like when we got, like before we went back to work after our honeymoon. So like we like went and bought a lot of pod equipment. Like we wilded out. We had
we went in.
furniture. We had like the whole thing set up like a week or two after our wedding.
Yeah.
So I think the reason, like a big reason why we had to have a break is that we didn't get to enjoy our marriage like when we should have. We should have said, okay, we do want a pod, but let's just enjoy us and like just get to know each other, and then we'll bring in a pod and stuff like that and bring in more factors and all that.
Yeah.
After we like, you know, have
and she
a couple
always,
months.
and you was always saying to me like, do you feel like we're in the honeymoon phase? And I would
Yeah.
always tell you no. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like we in that.
And I feel like because we didn't live together, we should have been in the more honeymoon phase early on.
We should have been more like
focused on us,
enjoying. And it's so crazy because now we're parents. We're about to be parents.
I know.
So the
we're
first
jumping into another thing.
Yeah, now we jumping into another thing. So it's like, dang.
Yeah.
Even looking back on it, I could say like, yeah, we definitely should have, because now, if we really keep it a stack, we only had about 5 months of it just being us, 5 maybe 6 months of just us, and then now it's
baby stuff.
We about to be parents, and for all y'all parents out there, y'all already know how it is. Where we've been told a lot that it's over.
Our world is literally gonna revolve around our child. Like
and now it's like we're gonna be looking back, and I know for me, because I'm big part to blaming it, is like, dang, I should have.
No, but we didn't know we were gonna get pregnant and stuff. We didn't know like the timeline was gonna get moved up.
Yeah, and
you didn't know it was like affecting me as much as it was. But I didn't know that going into it. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah,
it's gonna bring us closer, and like, you know, I just thought it was gonna be like a good bonding thing and stuff like that. And I was genuinely excited to like start it, and I still am grateful for the pod and stuff like that. But I think like we should have like gave ourselves like at least a couple months and then jumped into it, and then so I think that's why like my reason for the break was like, oh well, not really, that was like the start of it. I guess
the
like
real reason for the break was you felt like you was number 2 to the content creation and all of this stuff,
because he's always in grind mode, you're always like in work mode and stuff like that. And so I just felt like I was put on the back burner a lot, and that our marriage wasn't like the focus point.
like prioritized.
Yeah, and we should be in the honeymoon phase. Like I think the honeymoon phase lasts until like a year. So I was like, I don't know, I just wanted more, I guess, and like wanted to feel more like
wanted to feel number 1.
Yeah. And I know God and then me and then the pod, but it just felt like I think I had told you like you feel, or did I tell you? I was like, I feel like you are like, with anything when it comes to the pod, you're willing to do, but like with me, it's like stipulations and like
I'm not willing to bend when it came to pod stuff, but when it came to other things, it was like I'm gonna find loopholes to get it done.
Yeah, and you always had to like you are a structured person, so I get that. That's just who you are. So you are like a very regimented
I have a regimen, a
regimen.
schedule, a flow.
Yes, and
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to like live off the flow and like just go with the flow and like just like vibe. And so, but you like have to have everything in order and stuff. So I think it was like a conflict of that, and that, yeah, just felt like I was getting cheated on by the pod.
Yeah.
By
yeah,
content.
because
Yeah.
I had a big like ambition, and not ambition, but I just really felt like when I started podding, doing YouTube and things like that, because she was even making these arguments when we were dating, where she felt like, because there were times I would tell her I'm gonna come over, but then it's like I'm coming over late because I was editing and all this other stuff. But I would always tell her like, yo, this is the thing I feel like God made me to do. This is the thing that I feel like makes my life make sense, you know? And so I have a big passion for this, and I enjoy it. I do all of this like prep and all of this stuff during the week, gets me through my job, and I don't like how my job is like, you know, I know there's more to life than where I'm at, and I'm feeling like I'm at a cap, like a ceiling. But when it came to the pod stuff, it was like, yo, this is the joint that makes me feel like you're here for a reason, you know? And for a lot of us men, that thing, like when we don't have that thing, it's like,
Yeah.
what am I here for? What am I doing?
Yeah, and I think it was like hard for us to like get on the same page because I don't have that thing. Like I don't have a passion, or like I don't have a something that excites me. So it's like I don't understand how you feel, and so it's also part of me, like me being selfish too, and that could be why things went the way they did, because I don't know how to like I don't know how it feels to have something that means so much to you, in that sense. So it's like it was hard for me to understand, like, why do you like, I don't know, why are you like so like driven with it and stuff. So
Yeah,
and that's, and I want that. I want you to like fulfill your passion and like achieve everything that you want to achieve. So I guess it's like that balance that I haven't. It's hard.
yeah, and
It's a
then
hard thing. Like
it was crazy, y'all. There's a couple of times she would get mad. She'll start cursing at me. That's how I knew it was real.
yeah, when I felt those cuss words,
she
'cause I don't
started,
cuss.
and she'll tear up, and then she started going. I was like, yo, son,
because I felt like he wasn't listening. I couldn't get like, I was like couldn't get in. Like I was like I kept saying the same thing but in different ways, and it just wasn't working, and it just got like frustrating. That I knew how I felt, and I want you to understand how I felt, and it just felt like you wasn't getting how I felt.
Yeah.
And so it just got like.
And then at the same time, I'm like, yo, wait, like, how are you fit? Like, I didn't understand how she felt like number two.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're still getting, or at least I felt like I was meeting what she was needing. And then I would get frustrated too, because it felt like it didn't matter what I was doing.
Yeah. It was still not
I would
enough.
adjust my workflow around her so that she would be happy, but it still wasn't enough. So I guess looking back on it, I really feel like God was trying to show, like, and I still feel like he does that with you, because you'll still talk to me about certain stuff with it's like a heart issue where it's like, yo, and deep down in your heart, you feel like you have to do something in order to make this thing grow, in order to make it increase. And so I feel like at the time I felt like, oh, well, if some money was coming in from it, then you wouldn't be saying all of this stuff like that. And then I'm like, we're in the like foundation period. So this is the period where I do have to be consistent.
Grind.
I have to grind to make it go.
Yeah, and that's the selfish part of me, is that I wanted you to all to myself. And I wasn't willing to like be flexible and like see the end goal. Like I was only seeing maybe like the like temporary stuff, because I want this to grow. I want this to like monetize. That's what it is, monetize.
Yeah, to reach monetization and stuff.
And I want that for us and stuff like that. So I know like the time, the blood, sweat, tears has to go into it. The sacrifice has to go into it. But I guess it's just like, I was drawn between that and like, but I want my husband.
Yeah,
and
she would say, I don't want no weekend husband.
Yes,
because during the week I would be busy editing, getting clips, making captions, and all of this stuff.
And I would be by myself, like just entertaining myself for the most part. And you would be working on that.
I would really be over here until probably like, because I get off before her, so I would be busy until like dinner.
Yeah.
And then sometimes after dinner, I would come back to try to, get in front of it for the next day. But
right. And then I would have him for the weekend, but it's like it's 5 days out the week, only 2 days in the weekend. So it's like I want majority.
Yeah.
I want you, like, I want a piece of you every day. Like, but yeah, I think I just like miss you, I guess. Or like I just wanted us to like focus on us. And I wanted us to be strong because I knew when we have kids, we need to be like at the best possible version of us.
Yeah. And it was just a lot of, like she said, saying the same thing over and over. I'm getting frustrated. She's frustrated.
Yeah.
Then you start getting I don't even know why you married me.
Yeah, then you start getting into that, and then all that.
It started going there with it was like, yo, like, did we make a mistake? Like, stuff like that. And it was like, it was just a long period where it was just a constant misunderstanding of both sides. Right. And I think that even now, like I was telling you about, like I was saying before about I guess you trying to, I feel like God was using you to show me my heart, because it showed me that you're not putting your family first. The fact that your wife even feels in competition to this shows you're failing as a husband, because your first ministry is your family, and you're not.
Not me thinking about it and crying.
Oh no, baby, we don't got no tissues.
Oh, we did. It's okay. It's gonna go away. I don't feel like it's a whole thing.
I'm so sorry, baby.
No, just thinking about like that night, because it was like it happened at night, like that conversation. Like
it was night.
It was a long, like it was a lot of feelings and
Then I remember it got so bad to a point I was just like, you know what, I'm done. Like I went to work, and it was like a thing leading up to it where I was like, yo, do I need to sacrifice this? Like, put this on the altar type joint and get rid of it, dead it? And then I think our last, like, I don't even think it was an argument. It was more of a, like, because we were more calm, and then you were saying, like, yo, like, we shouldn't have did this. And then I remember, that's when I laughed, because I was like, I already prayed about this in the morning, asking God, like, yo, if you want me to end it, then I need you to show me. I need you to tell me, yeah, you got to sacrifice this joint. And then when you said that, I was like, yeah, I feel like God is telling me you need to go, you need to step away from it. So I came out here, I started crying, and I was praying, I was repenting, I was trying to get right. Started packing up the equipment, y'all. I was like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah, no, he packed that up.
I ain't even tell her. Like, I just packed it all up. And then, I told God, I was like, yo, I was wilding, I was tripping. And I just started praying, asking God to help me get right. And so I packed up all the equipment. You know what I'm saying? I was crying too, but I was just over here just sitting looking out the window.
I didn't even get to witness it.
She didn't even know.
Because I haven't seen him cry. Like, I've never seen him cry. So
I've cried about 2-3 times in our marriage on a honeymoon, because we had that argument. Yeah. And then
that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll catch him one time, guys.
Yeah, she gonna catch me slipping at least one time. But yeah, so it was definitely like we said, on course for divorce.
It really was.
And we say that because,
like, is it worth it?
We say on course for divorce, not that we getting no divorce, but that where we were at the time, if it continued on, our marriage definitely was on life support.
Yeah, it was.
For real, like it wasn't good.
Yeah, like if we didn't come to like a understanding, and like if you didn't spend that time with God and stuff like that, and you thought that, no, I'm gonna continue on doing what you were doing and like stuff like that, I definitely think like, because like you went straight into like action, like plan of action. So I really appreciate that you made me feel like you heard me and that you wanted to like change things and like really like focus on us and stuff like that. Because I think if like you was just like, I'm not like, I'm gonna continue doing what I was doing, like I don't know where we would be.
And I think
because I feel
even now we still be triggered by that drink.
We do.
She came in and saw me one day. I told her 1 week. I think before she came back, I was like, I didn't pod 1 week, and then so it was really like about 2 weeks off, I would say. Yeah, maybe not 2 weeks.
And he had told me that he was. I
told
her
I was going to chill.
Yeah.
But then I had this idea in the morning when I was at work to do a YouTube video about the tug of war between your flesh and your spirit, where it's like, you know, you sin, but you also know I'm supposed to be walking according to the spirit, representing Christ and stuff like that. That tug of war you always feel, that I saw from George Janko and I forgot his name, Cliff something. But I told her, she came home and I was already finishing the video, and then she went, oh, boom. I was like, yo, wait a minute. I told you I'm taking a break. How is this impacting you? And then she was just like, yo, like, nah, I was looking forward to us, because she thought it was going to go back to what it was in that month span where we didn't pod or nothing. Because that's when, like she said, plan of action, we was locked in.
We had like, we started the marriage meetings. We were doing
we started marriage meetings once we got
but you were just like focusing on me, like I could tell. And sometimes it's like I want you, because like Dante, he's like a workaholic. Like he doesn't believe in breaks. I don't know if it's a New York blood in you or what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Breaks are not.
I know when I need to take a break. Until I feel that, like, yo, I gotta stop.
Yeah. Okay.
I do know I understand the concept of break. I played ball, so I know what the off season is, and then when you got your preseason and your stuff leading your training into it, don't, because I may not need it that long.
No, but then I feel like in marriage, your breaks is not you anymore. It's us. It's us taking a break,
and that's what I wasn't understanding. What she was saying was not like that. Oh. Because I was taking it like she was trying to force me to do something, but I think you, in more simpler terms, was really trying to say our marriage needs you to take a break from this thing right here.
Yes. And to
you may not need a break. Like me, right. I may not need a break. I feel physically fine. I feel like my mind's still sharp. I'm doing my research. I'm scheduling up all of this stuff. I'm fine. But our marriage, us, needs you to take a break from this thing right here, because yo, I feel like you like I'm competing with this and I shouldn't.
And that turning point was still so new too. So it's like we can't just jump back in and think everything is fine. No, we still have to acknowledge that just a couple months ago we was like going through this. So it's like I don't want you, like, it's still fresh. It's still like something that we're all adjusting to and stuff like that. And especially us about to have a baby, I feel like I said, like, I feel like we need to try our best to be in the best versions of ourselves. And I just believe in breaks. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the Southern part of me, is that I believe in the whole work-life balance. I believe in, like, having that time, family time. I'm still struggling with personal time. But, like, just having, like, those, like, I don't know, just having, like, a good balance with everything.
Because I've been out of school for 2019, about 5 years. I don't know a break. After school stopped, there is no more breaks. Ain't no spring break. Ain't no Christmas break.
And I've been out of school for almost a year, and I still know what a break is. So.
Yeah, because it's a little fresh to you. Don't worry.
No, it's not. It's just we view breaks differently.
But so do you think, like I was talking about before, with us just saying like, yo, why do we even get married?
Yeah.
Was divorce ever really?
I wouldn't say it was like I wouldn't actually go through with it, but it just feels like I feel like the hill is all the way up here and I'm all the way down here, and I'm like, yo, I really don't feel like climbing this hill right now. like I just want to like give up, you know, but not like actually going through with the like whole process and stuff, but just like, yo, it's a lot I'm looking at right now, and it feels overwhelming. It feels like we're not gonna get through it, stuff like so. Probably like that doubtfulness, I guess. But then we always get through it. I'm like, oh, I wasn't as bad as I thought. Like we can do this. Like we're cool. So I feel like it makes us stronger, and that hill is not as big as I was thinking. Yeah. And usually we're on like I feel like when we have like disagreements or arguments and stuff, like usually I just need sleep and like just quiet time and stuff. And I feel like the Holy Spirit does like give me that discernment of like, yo, you was tripping. And then you have that time too. And I feel like then we come back and we're usually on the same page. So I feel like it makes it so much easier. Like reconciliation and stuff.
Yeah. Whenever I pray for reconciliation, God ain't waste no time.
He doesn't. Because you're not like, you don't like, some men are really prideful. Like they don't want you to feel like you won or anything like that. But I really feel like you do a good job with like owning up and like taking accountability and stuff. And I feel like that's really important in marriage for sure.
Yeah. And then I think for me, I was never thinking, like I told you like divorce was never an option. Yeah. I told you that even before I married you. I told you that when we was dating, I don't do that. Mm-hmm. So it was this kind of the same things like, yo, like should we have gotten married? Maybe we weren't ready. Yeah. You know, those thoughts that come into your head. But like you said, I just knew, I believed that, yo, if I pray about this and I keep coming to God, it's going to get right. Because that's his proven track record. Even when we were dating, that's what it was. It was times we was arguing and I'm like, yo, God, I honestly, I think she chatting. Yeah. I don't see what she talking about. I don't agree with it. But I need some understanding. And then I'm telling you, them prayer walks, when I be at my job, them prayer walks always get me, for the most part, by a day or at most 2, I come around. Yeah.
And this is a great example of why you need God in the middle of your marriage. Because if you don't have anything and you're only going off of emotions and all that type of stuff, and you don't have anybody to check you, this is probably why divorces happen. Because you don't have that being in the middle that wants you to stay together. Because he wants us to stay together. He believes in marriage.
Because God don't, I'm not gonna say he don't care about your feelings, but he's invested in the marriage. Yeah. So you made vows in front of your family, your friends, before God. Like covenant. That means something. You established a covenant. Yeah. So God is a covenant keeper. So when you bring him into the marriage, God is gonna have his hands on it so that y'all can make it work, because marriage is supposed to represent Christ and his bride, which is the church. Yeah. And Christ, like what is it in? Is it Ephesians 5 or 6 or something?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the Bible tells us that Christ, husbands, you are to love your wives like Christ loved the church. Oh, yeah. And so even when I was thinking about that scripture I had to keep coming to, like, all right, love your wife like Christ loved the church. And I guess this was a big part of what got me back on track and what led to, I guess, the shift. Me understanding that, yo, there was nobody else that Christ had before the bride. The church was who he pursued. So, or even making it more personal, who has God put before me?
That's true.
No one. Okay, why are you doing that to your wife? I don't know, God. Why does your wife even feel that have you felt as a Christian in competition with another thing that God is doing or something like that? No. Okay, why are you doing that to your wife? I don't know, God. I don't. Yeah, but God, I think she tripping. I didn't ask you that. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you think. I'm asking you, show me where I, as Christ, have put something before you. Nah, you didn't. Okay, so you need to go back to your wife and you need to fix it. All right, fine. And then, you know, that's me knowing that was a big part of me saying I gotta sacrifice this joint, but another thing that led to the shift for me was that I spoke to a lot of men. I was talking to my dad. I talked to my dad, who was in played drums for the church and stuff. So I knew he would understand, because I knew he loved playing drums, and I knew he viewed that as service to God.
Yeah.
All right, boom. So let me talk to dad. And he was telling me, are you sure he told you to give it up? Or maybe he was just alerting you that you're just not doing it right. All right. I was like, nah, dad, I feel like, because he was the first one I talked to. And he was just like, I was like, nah, I think he told me to sacrifice. I think I got to give it up.
No, I don't.
And so my mindset, and even like you was telling me, oh, like she was coming back around like, oh, I'm on a pod again. I miss it. But in my head, I'm like, nope. Nah,
scarred.
It's over. It's dead. Like in my head, yo, podding is dead, because I don't want to re-awake it. I don't want it to come back.
But I knew the passion that you have for it. I knew, like how you said, you feel like that is something that God gave you to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, who am I to take? I'm not competing with God. Like, I don't want him to say you should have let him continue. Like, I don't want that. I just needed you to still like just. Well, what am I saying? No, I just needed you to like figure out that balance.
Yeah.
And like for us to figure out that balance too.
And then I spoke to Uncle Lee, because he's a pastor. So I asked him about it, and he was telling me, he was like, yo, ministry is a sacrifice.
Yeah, it is.
Like you can't. And he was telling me about how he tried to prioritize time with his family, but he also understand you got to do stuff for the church, for the members and things like that. So he was just telling me, yo, maybe the pods need to be less. Maybe you need to, send the work out so somebody else edit it or something like that. Yeah. Maybe you don't need an hour. You just need 30 minutes. So even in him talking like that, he's giving me the, don't give it up.
Right.
Then I spoke to somebody at our church, and he told me, like, he was the last person I spoke to about it, and he was saying with ministry and family, God, because I asked him, I said, what comes first, ministry or family? And then he told me, like, yo, nah, family is the first ministry. Yeah. And so I was just telling him, like, yo, I'm struggling with balancing this with doing this pod stuff, because I feel like this is my version of ministry or whatever. So whoever may see it in this current day or in the future. And he was telling me that ministry and family is a tension that you as a man have to carry both. Right. You can't let go of one. It's not one or the other. You have to hold them both. Yeah. And I was like, dang.
Yeah, it's a heavy weight.
I don't, like, it just feels sometimes where I do have, like, in that moment when I sacrificed it, it felt like I can't do both. I'm not strong enough to do both. I'm not balancing good enough to do both. So I'm going to let it go. Boop. But now I've been doing it because I'm praying a lot, and I'm trying to understand. Like, I was reading the scripture, because you had told me a couple days ago, probably like a week or so ago. It was that week that you caught me doing that video, and you was like, yo, I just feel like you need to rest. You do so much, and you're still in the same spot.
I shouldn't have said
ouch,
that.
Baby. Very ouch. But
it is ouch. I'm
but
agreeing.
It was
that
true.
That was not a cool thing.
I didn't take it as disrespect or on some, like, before I used to feel like, you don't believe in it. You don't believe in me. You don't believe in what is trying to get built here. But, I took it on the chin, and I just started thinking about it, and I felt like I went to the scriptures. I found Psalms 127, I think 1 and 2. If God doesn't build the house, those who labor in vain. They labor in vain, they that build it. If God doesn't keep the city, the watchman that waketh watch in vain, or something like that. Then it says it's vain to stay up late. It's vain to wake up early and to sit up late. And what is the last part? God gives to God's beloved, he gives rest or sleep or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that scripture was showing me, bro, you doing this all off, you trying to do this off willpower. it's vain. It's vanity. And from what we know from Ecclesiastes, it don't matter what you build.
No.
It's if it ain't with God, you're still gonna be empty. And that's the whole energy behind that book anyway. So I took what you said and I was like, yeah, I gotta learn rest. And I gotta start viewing rest as a reward, as a gift. Because a lot of the times you see rest, it's a gift. It's a reward that God is giving to man. So I had to learn to carry that tension between passion, career, or whatever it may be for y'all, your gift and all of this stuff, but also understanding your family still requires, if not the same, even more of that passion, that, sacrifice and things like that. You got to learn to hold the tension between the two. So,
do you want to do a part 2? I feel like,
I guess so.
yeah, because I feel like there's more that we could talk about, but it's gonna end up being an hour pod.
I think we only got one more thing because we already did those 3.
Oh,
Trying to get your nails done, huh?
I am getting my nails done, but I mean, if you don't think we could,
No, that's all right. It's
no,
okay.
I mean, because I don't want to like rush it.
I don't really got much else to say.
Oh, you don't have enough for part 2 to say. Oh,
I think we hit everything.
yeah, we did. I didn't know if like there was more, to elaborate on. For real?
I think that's it. Yeah, because
Well, y'all let us know if y'all want us to elaborate on anything else.
yeah. And to the married couples, keep the faith. Keep
Put
God
your family
involved.
first. Put God is in the center and put your family first.
Stay prayed up.
Yeah, because your family is important.
Yeah. And if you are feeling like how we was feeling, chill. It's normal.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's normal.
It's no reason to get a divorce.
Yeah,
No
don't
need
start
to
paying.
do
Oh,
all
don't
that.
fall for that lie of, if it's real, it should be easy. Nah, this joint is hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
And you have
Don't.
to give grace to
Yes.
your marriage.
Grace,
patience.
forgiving, compromise,
Yes.
sacrifice. You gotta communicate, which is what we
Yes,
were struggling.
accountability.
I
Yeah.
think the marriage meetings has helped us.
Yeah.
We started doing marriage meetings, and I would start telling her, "Yo, this is how it's gonna look."
Yeah. And
But
then,
now we don't do it no more.
and I could just see and I could just see your effort into it, and it just like, okay.
Yeah, she started
Thank
being
you.
like, "I really feel like the marriage meeting is really just for you."
Yeah, especially me being pregnant, I'm like lazy, so
Yeah,
I don't be contributing
yeah,
too much.
but
And sometimes women just want to be heard and like seen and like, so I appreciate you for seeing me.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I do appreciate it, and I see you too.
But yeah, if y'all want us to elaborate more, definitely leave a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely leave a review.
Yeah, and let
if you're
us
listening
know.
on Apple or Spotify podcast, just let us know.
Yeah.
If
Let
you got
us-
any questions, put it in the comments, and
Or-
we'll try to elaborate more on it.
Or your testimonies of your like turning point in y'all's marriage.
Yeah,
Any advice that you have for us, things that we could do.
word. Always with the advice, always for the
Yes.
wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my wife got to go get her nails done.
I am still pretty
It
again.
But yeah, as always, y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed.
I hope y'all have a great week and happy Mother's Day.
Shout out to the mothers again. You the real MVPs.
Yes, y'all are.
And
I love you.
I love you too. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Oh, the shoulder work was crazy.